What is going on, guys? DBG here, and in this video we are going to be doing something a little bit different, and this is going to be kind of part one. And if you guys do like this video, if we can get it to 1,000 likes and you guys like it in the comments, I will do kind of like a full almost documentary style NBA 2K19 MyTEAM. Like this, just these like 12-13 minutes took me about 3.5 hours in terms of researching, downloading all the videos, cutting up together, and making sure I didn't forget anything too absolutely major. And also, these do take a lot of time, but if you guys do want to see it, I will do kind of like almost an hour-long documentary on basically my team throughout this entire year. I'll look back on the way it was to start and how the game has evolved over time. So this is either going to be a completely failed experiment or a sneak preview of what is probably the biggest video that I will have made so far in my YouTube career. But anyway, yep, now let's get onto it. So NBA 2K19 was released on the 7th of September, I think, last year. And it took until about an hour and a half after the game being released for people to realize how to basically cheese it. And unfortunately, I'm not going to lie, I probably was one of the first people to do that. And to let people know that, especially at this stage in the game, the pick and pop reigned supreme. Because of the low ratings of players, because obviously there weren't that many speed boosting players, there wasn't that many great post players, that many people great driving to the basket, day one, people could shoot. So pick and pops completely reigned supreme. The player of the month card was the Michael Finley card, which I think I was the first person to get in all of YouTube. And this was a little bit different than previous years, because previous years, the Supermax rewards, like day one we got, not even day one, after a couple of weeks we got a Marcus Camby card. It was never like a viable option to get a really great card from just grinding the game day one. If you wanted a great card, you had to spend money. However, in 2K19, they gave us Michael Finley, who day one was the best card by a significant amount in NBA 2K19 MyTEAM. And a lot of people thought this was going to be the best card for quite a while in this game, which is absolutely crazy. Like, this card could dunk, he could shoot, and the tokens needed to get a diamond card were an insane amount. Some people, including myself, who got a lot of cards, needed until like November to start getting decent amounts. However, we only thought that for a day. This is day two. So this is going to be the first of my kind of creator showcase, and this is going to be the Twitch streamer and YouTuber Smoothie, who was blowing up at the start of 2K19. On day two, yes, day two, he had 7 diamonds in 2K19. Which was unheard of at the time. Like, sure, now diamonds are 1 2K MT. You guys might think it's nothing. But to get 7 diamonds, if you had 7 diamonds within a month of this game coming out, you would have one of the best teams in the game. However, through a combination of grinding the game, putting money into the game, trading, just a combination of everything, Smoothie actually managed to get these 7 diamonds on day 2. Which I just remember looking back on it at the time thinking, how the hell has anyone got more than 2 diamonds, let alone 7? Which was this was one of the craziest things. You guys may not remember, but this is actually one of the craziest things that happened this year in my team. Someone managed to get this many tokens this quickly. In the second week of the game, we got our first promo, which was the Rookie Sensations promo. This promo was pretty much irrelevant. The only thing with this was that we thought it was going to be a sign of things coming in the future. So basically, they released these packs early in the token market for, I think it was 25 tokens. I could be wrong, it could have been more, for a guaranteed one of these players. So we thought that was going to be a case with every promo pack, but it was literally just a case for this pack. They never did it again. However, one hilarious thing came from these packs. The invisible Kobe Bryant. So for the first like 2 days of this pack coming out, there was literally an invisible Kobe. Kobe didn't have a player model for Froby, so he was invisible. And as you guys can see here, he doesn't know where he is on defense, my opponent. I'm using him online. And he put up like 30 and got about 10 steals because my opponent literally didn't know who he was. Like, it was one of the craziest glitches in my team, and no, this probably was the craziest glitch in my team. It's just not a lot of people did it. There wasn't many videos on it, so it's not that well known. And then a couple of days later was the start of it. The start of base 11. One of my favorite players for a long time, Amethyst Tom Gugliotta. The base 11 god in this game, one of the best dunkers in the game, one of the best cards in the game for quite a while. He was released actually in September. That shows how like OP this card was at the time, one of the best cards in the game. And at the end of the month, they released a pink diamond Ben Wallace, and all it did was basically brought forward the auction house glitch. So basically, there was a glitch in September that if you outbid someone on a card, the card would disappear from the auction. So for that reason, any card that went near 100 KMT literally became extinct when people figured this out. It was actually crazy. Now we are on to October. So in October, the player of the month was THiswill. This card was actually released glitched. Every single stat in the card was the same. I'm pretty sure it was either 91 or 94. I think he had 91 in every single stat. I don't know why. It happened with Larry Johnson as well, but they literally released just a glitched version of THiswill to everybody. However, when I actually got the card, when I got a chance to do a gameplay with him, it was just normal THiswill. He had hot zones everywhere. The glitch version, no hot zones, no badges. The game is proper badges. They also gave him the amateur release, which was a really good release at the time. And while I didn't think he was as good as Finley, it was still great to be able to get a pink dime when nobody had pink dimes. It was great to be able to get a free one. And then a couple of days later, we ended up getting our first free amethyst. So we ended up getting an amethyst reward by locker code. We'd gotten a Michael Jordan one before that, but again, this was interesting. It was hard to get Jerry West. Trust me, like, it was hard. I didn't get it in 3 tries. And again, it was good to see 2K giving us the free cards. And then the next day, though, we got some great cards. We got a budget beast in Rafe LaFrance, who still to this day is one of the best Ruby and below centers in this game. He can without doubt hold his own against any squad in this game, and was used in a lot of the best player squads, including the squad that was used to win what I'm going to talk about now. So the 250k tournament happened in October. So week 1, crazily enough, after an hour, Colby was actually number 1. Turn-up defense to PS4 champion was number 2. I've got no idea what happened on Xbox, so I'm not even going to talk about that. And actually, after 30 minutes, I was number 1, which is crazy enough. However, with about an hour to go, Jinsanity, who was winning it all, lagged out. Ended up getting a loss. And luckily enough, he ended up getting in the next week. And then with 50 minutes to go, TJ was up by about 100 points over Splash. And in the end, TJ disconnected as well and couldn't get in. Thankfully, again, neither of those guys were affected too badly. They both qualified in other weeks. So the winner was in fact Luckershot, who ended up losing to the 4th ranked player this week, New Edition Flash, in the first round of the tournament. Just kind of crazy thing to happen. Now we are on to creator spotlight number 2, and this is Ambush. And this was probably the most impressive thing that any creator has done in NBA 2K19. And that's not a joke. It is the most impressive thing. And that includes most balling in September, basically going like 3 days with no sleep. Ambush managed to get Wilt Chamberlain before he check packs. This was so difficult to do. He managed to get all the way through the pink diamond board and get 750 tokens on the 15th of October. To put it into perspective, there was no other Galaxy Opal in this game until the end of December when they released Galaxy Opal Chris Paul. Wilt Chamberlain was without doubt the best card in MyTEAM at that stage. One of the best cards we'd ever seen in MyTEAM at that stage. This card was unbelievable. And more so than anything, not just the card, that Ambush did it by himself, streaming almost every bit of this journey to get Wilt. There were people that got Wilt a little bit before him, there were people that got Wilt a little bit after them, but all of those guys had 2-3 people grinding on their accounts. He did it all by himself and streamed it, which in my opinion is the most impressive thing that anyone did in all of 2K19. And then October was kind of the month of a lot of the ridiculous things just kind of starting in 2K. So obviously we had LaFrance, but then we ended up getting another center with an even higher rating, a 93 3-point rating on a Nikola Vucevic. And then they released the high voltage packs, which had, funnily enough, they were in the premium market as Halloween from launch, and then they randomly became high voltage when they actually were created. This was the first time we'd ever seen moving card art, and at the time was one of the coolest things we'd ever seen, although I'm not a big fan of flashing lights. We also got Brandon Roy, who was an unbelievable card. Brandon Roy was unbelievably hyped again because he hadn't been in the game before, and it was also our introduction to base 8 with Brandon Roy, one of the best cards in the game at the time, and yeah, just an unbelievable card. A couple of days later, we got our first Limitless player. We got Steph Curry. And it was a long time before we got a Limitless player in NBA 2K17. Well, a Limitless player that you could actually purchase. It was quite a while in 2K18, but in 2K19 we got it in October. And not only that, a couple of days later we actually managed to get his backcourt teammate, Klay Thompson, with a 99 3-point shot and Limitless range. So in October we had 2 Limitless players, which was crazy. So these were the best players at each position in October. So the starters are the best, the bench are the second best. So we had a lot of fairly good players in this month. Like Steph Curry, Klay Thompson, Granger, Blake Griffin, Jermaine O'Neal. That is not a bad five. Like, a lot of these guys could still kind of hold their own. While they're not going to be great cards to use nowadays, a lot of them could still hold their own in NBA 2K19 MyTEAM, which is kind of crazy considering October was the second month this game was out, which is nuts. But yeah, these were only cards you could buy. Like, you could lock in for a Moses Malone. You could get all those token rewards as shown by Ambush, as shown by Smoothie. So honestly, a great team in October, even though it wouldn't be a good team at all now, is still maybe a usable team now if you're a skilled player, which we've never been able to say in previous years. November was a bit of a slow month in terms of my team, so the player of the month reward was Manu Ginobili. This card was great. Like, it was significantly better than Dan Issel, probably a little bit better than Michael Finley, and again was a guard pink diamond that you were able to get for free, which for me anyway was unreal because I didn't have that many pink diamond cards, and not that many pink diamond cards that I liked. Sure, I had Blake Griffin and cards like that, but there wasn't that many great ones. The next day we got the card that kickstarted the base 11 revolution, which is what I'm going to call it. Sure, we had Kurolenko, sure we had Gugliotta, but it was the introduction of Danny Granger into my team that got people realizing how good base 11 was. Granger is some of the best stats in the game, 6'9", and also one of the cheese releases. Pre-shot contest patch, this card was unstoppable. Speaking of unstoppable, that Friday we got Blake Griffin, the pink diamond Blake Griffin, who was just, I know, sure, he's outclassed right now, but at the time, to have like a 90 rated 3-point shooter with a 99 dunk, Hall of Fame posterizer, Hall of Fame Lob City finisher, he was just able to shoot the ball really well. He could dunk on everybody. He had speed with ball, which was fairly good. You were seeing him run at point guard. He had a wide body. This was one of the best cards in the game for so long. But this was, again, a kind of a sign for things to come with how OP cards were going to be this year. The middle of the month saw something different to the base 11 revolution, a locker code with a potential free base 11 card. You basically got a Gugliotta clone, maybe slightly better in Bob Pettit. While this is nowhere near the Bob Pettit Galaxy Opal, this was still a great card with base 11 who could shoot the lights out. And he was free. You literally couldn't buy this card. You could only get him for free. Later on in the month, we saw something weird. So 4 days after 2K released a 95 overall Diamond LeBron, they announced a pink Diamond LeBron, but made him a 95 overall. I know you guys might be kind of confused and wondering what's going on because this card is a diamond. Yes, it is a diamond. They released a pink diamond 95 overall, you packed them as a pink diamond, and then the next day, they changed its color from a pink diamond to a diamond. Not really relevant, not relevant at all, but again, it is kind of just a weird bit of 2K history that something you just never really would have expected to happen. So November ended with the Flight School packs, which, to be honest, were kind of the best packs we'd seen so far. They're some of the most overpowered players. Cards like the T-Mac were beast, Dwayne Wade was a beast, Iguodala was incredible, Sean Kemp was a nice reward. And at the end of the month, we had a lot of good players, even some that I haven't talked about yet, but I will talk about in a couple of seconds. This collection, though, was fairly good. These were the best players at the end of November. We had Magic Johnson and Kobe, who were both part of the same 20th anniversary set. We still had Oscar Robertson from October. We managed to get a Drazen Petrovic in that month, who was a limitless range shooter with a J.R. Smith release. Really, really good. Sean Kemp was decent dunker. Obviously, Granger was exceptional. We also had Kareem Day, which I'm not going to touch on too much because Kareem wasn't that great a card, to be completely honest. And then we had Dwight Howard, who just dunked on everybody, and some great budget cards. So anyway, that's the video. As you guys can see, we are like nearly 15 minutes into this video, and all we've talked about is up to November, and there's a lot more stuff that goes on in the following months. Trust me, it's going to be a lot longer than this. So if you guys want to see kind of a full hour-long version of this where I talk about the whole year, please leave in the comments, because again, it is kind of fun doing this research, but it's an awful lot of work. So if you guys don't really like this video, if you guys don't really want to see more stuff like this, there's no point in me putting in all that work for a video that you guys don't want to see. But anyway, that's the video. Thank you guys for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe.